Hi. Hi guys. Welcome in lesson 4 of our mini-series, Efficient Illustrator Workflow. Today we will look at the transform tool and how we can use it to the maximum potential to create easy and fast patterns. Normally when you use the transform tool, usually, or at least I will usually use the transform that we can find under object, transform, and then as you can see we can move, rotate, reflect, scale, and then shear. But we will let it be for now, and we will instead look at the transform that you can find under Effect, Distort and Transform, and Transform. It will bring this dialog window, and basically this transform effect tool is your regular transform on crack. I actually started to use this after I saw the work of guy that goes by nickname Hydro74. You can find him on Instagram, and actually this entire mini-series is mainly inspired by his work and work of a couple of other people. And I actually went and kind of reverse engineered their work. He actually doesn't really explain how he does this in his videos, so I had to kind of, as I said, reverse engineer the entire process, or kind of guess how he did it. So we'll be creating these kind of patterns or illustrations, and for now I will just disable every transform effect I have on it. As you can see, we are left with just a couple of really simple illustrations. We actually covered these in our previous lessons. What we basically have here is a ribbon with shadows. So this is again created by using a blend tool. And then I created this simplistic sword, and basically I again to use the same mirroring techniques we used in the lesson 1 when creating a leaf. So if you're following the mini-series, you should be kind of familiar with this already. The real magic starts to happen when we apply the transform effect tool on these shapes, or effect transform, I don't know. To be honest, I really didn't see anyone use this tool in the way that the guy Hydro74 uses it. I tried to Google and search on YouTube how to use this tool, and normally you will get like a shit ton of tutorials on transform and free transform and other stuff. But I swear by the time I'm making this video, it's like 1 or 2 articles on this tool or on this exact tool, and basically all of them are just like, okay, how to transform one dot into a grid. Nothing like really creative. So okay, just a little segue. If you don't know what shit ton means, shit ton is 10 crap tons. Okay, let's go further. I will select my illustration, in this case the ribbon. I will group it first, and then let's apply Distort, Transform, and Transform. When we see the panel, I strongly recommend you to start to understand how this tool works. I strongly recommend to start with just a rotate, and rotate your illustration in like increments of 15 degrees or 30 degrees or 60 degrees. You will see why. If you just choose like a random angle like 27 or 25 point something something, it will be a mess. So just like start with something that makes sense. For example, 30 degrees. I will want to create 2 copies of this. You can see that here we can actually choose our anchor point around which it will rotate. I will for now disable scale scale, strokes and effects. And you can already see that this tool created 2 copies. And I will actually have to increase the rotation to 60 degrees. Preview again. And then we can start to translate the coordinates. When I want to create something more complex, I actually want to first align, let's say, 2 of these parts to the same vertical axis, and then I will start to translate the second axis. Okay, didn't work anyway, so we'll have to do it twice. Oh yeah, I know why it doesn't work. Okay, 60 degrees is enough. I actually wanted to have it by 120. You can see it, the tool close, doesn't matter. If I go to properties panel, you can find it again under transform. And you can actually see that I created this kind of interesting triangle. You will have to play a little bit with the alignment. I actually think that should be there should be like an easier way how to do it. I just still didn't find out how. So for now, I'm just adjusting the alignment pixel by pixel. Okay, so now we have kind of semi-perfect alignment here, and now basically you can start really to play with it. If I click OK, I will just create a copy of our shape and go back and transform. And now you guys can actually start really to experiment with this thing. Go to 60 degrees, for example, boom. And as you can see, we are able to super fast create like really interesting stuff with, again, like minimum effort. Just go, oh yeah. And I think this is like really cool. This is like, I didn't know about this thing until recently, and I can tell you I'm like super excited just to experiment like a lot with this. And what is like super awesome as well, if you actually, you can see again that basically what we have is just a basic illustration. Then the tool repeats and rotates and translates the illustration to the copies. But the thing is, if you actually expand the appearance, and I have a text layer in my group, I can actually still edit. Okay, still edit the text layers. So I think this makes it like super powerful. Because you will be able to very quickly create a lot of different iterations of your work. Boom. Seek, destroy, and repeat. Okay, let's move to the sort. Same here. I think it could be very interesting to play here with a weapon. And let's just like go nuts, create 20 copies, rotating at 50-degree angle. You can actually play with changing the anchor point. And now if you translate the coordinates by moving this, again you can get like a ton of like super interesting stuff. Don't worry if you just overshoot the number of copies, because since you are actually adding it at a regular angle, in the end the copies will just overlap. At least that's what I assume will happen. Okay, if I pump it up to 60, you see like nothing happened, but I assume it will just go once more around. 30, let's try to change the angle again. Go to 30, and I don't know, 8 copies. And if you have disabled the scale strokes and effects, what you can do is if you scale your illustration up and down, the pattern actually changes. I don't know how many times do we have to repeat it to make a full circle, but this looks like enough. But if you actually like this already, and what you want to do is to keep this illustration, just change the scale and still want to be able to edit it, you can go back to transform, just enable scale strokes and effects, and now the illustration will actually, or the effect and transform will actually scale as well without influencing your like entire pattern. Alright, let's change this again, just to make it more fun. Okay, I would actually like to, I guess, flip it like this. Just do like 10-degree increments, go to 60. Okay, it doesn't matter. Yep, I just wanted to illustrate for you like the different options you have here to create really nice and complex patterns very quickly. You can actually also use the elements we already have from previous lessons. For example, if I bring in the leaf that we created in lesson 1, you will just have to expand appearance I still have to learn how to pronounce appearance better. It's always sucks for me in these tutorials. Okay. I want to reflect this. Group. And let's apply again the transform tool on this. And this time, what I will do, I will actually create like a shit ton of copies. And what I will actually do, you can see it gives us like a ton of options. Boom. We can change the scale of each copy, and what we will get is a spiral. And I think you guys are creative enough to come up with like a ton of different uses for this. Okay, you can go to 20. You can increase the vertical spacing. You see? Okay. And also, I think you can already start to imagine how can we begin to put all those elements together. We can bring our ribbon from the previous lesson, and this is still like definitely not what we will be looking for the final and complex illustration. But you can already see when I start to combine my illustrations together, it gives me a ton of options already. And you can very quickly start to iterate your illustrations. And for example, if I create a client work, and if I want to present a lot of options for my clients, I don't want to be creating everything again just by hand. I want to be able to use these tools and to save time and potentially also money by using these options. And it's also more fun, you know, if you don't spend like 2 days with pen tool recreating your work or just like doing small changes. I think it will be more fun for everybody. Okay, so this is everything for today's lesson. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye!